Hey guys, how's it going? Utmost Geek here, hope you're doing well. Here's something that is truly unique. It is a real diamond in the rough. And no, I'm not saying that just because of the brand. This thing is quite remarkable. To me at least. This is a 14-inch diamond oscillating table fan. It is from roughly the mid-70s to early 80s, or maybe even early 70s as well. And I got this thing as a early birthday present for myself from eBay for around £60 or so, which, don't get me wrong, it is quite a lot of money, but I feel like it was worth every single penny. And I thought, why don't we show you why that is? Because for most of you looking at it right now, you'll probably be thinking, oh, hang on a minute, this is just a regular old fan here. What's so special about that? Why do you think it makes you speechless every time you talk about it? Well, it's like it's a representation of what I think would come to mind if somebody was to ask me, hey, can you draw me an old fan from the 70s or 80s and make it as prototypical as you possibly can? Because to me, this thing literally fits every checklist. And with that in mind, why don't we have a look at the sides, and hopefully you guys will understand with what I am saying, and it won't just end up as a whole load of baloney. Right then, now for a closer look. We're starting off at the front. Unlike most of my fan videos, there's quite a lot to discuss about this one. So, looking at the cage here, it's in amazing condition considering the age. It still has most of its shine, and when I got the fan, a few of the struts were, or slats, whatever you want to call it, these things, were kind of bent up, and there's still one that I kind of left out there. I need to rectify that later on, but it is quite normal for most of these fans that don't have a support ring going around or here, like the rear grill, and they get bent up like this, but that's easy to fix, isn't it? As for improving on the shine, there's only a tiny bit of tarnishing, or there's no rust at all, thankfully. I'm very relieved that there isn't much rust. The only rust that is on this fan is on these tabs here, and as you can see, one of them is bent up, which is a bit of a shame, but it's not too much of a worry. As for the rear grille, it's also in pretty good shape. It's been painted silver, and I'm not sure if that was a factory thing or rather somebody did it later on. Excuse me. Cold things as usual. But there's an area where the paint is rubbing off, and that's because the rear grille was mounted upside down for a very long time, and unfortunately, you can kind of see, unfortunately you can kind of make out there if I zoom in a bit and move the camera down, you can see that there's a bit of a black mark on the neck, and that's because the rear grille was rubbing against the neck for a very long time, and it's made quite a deep indentation on it, which is a big shame. And the paint on the handle, which I will show you later on, has kind of rubbed off. That's not too much of a big deal. It's just the neck that has taken quite a bit of damage. So, oh well. Now, looking down, you might have already noticed, this thing has quite a unique base. So let's have a talk about that. Starting from the neck, it has a lamp in it, which I can turn on for you. There you go. I'll probably demonstrate that later on. But I believe it's a halogen bulb or something. It might be fluorescent or something, as the camera seems to be taking it quite weirdly. But in person, it looks alright, I guess. Yeah, it's a bit flickery, which is a bit odd. But yeah, funny color, isn't it? You can also replace the bulb there, should it be required. And now for the base. As you might have noticed, it's got 4 speeds, and that is quite odd for sure, considering how old this fan is. And we're talking about in an era before DC fan motors were common. So yeah, quite an odd thing. And I did have a look in the motor casing, and it looks like it's a pretty normal setup there, and I don't think there's more wires than usual, so I believe this is more of a capacitor type deal rather than having a 4th winding for the 4th speed, but I could be wrong. On the left side here, there's a timer, and that runs for 45 minutes, which is quite short. That is unfortunately a setback with this fan, and it is quite noisy as well, which is a shame. And on the right is the oscillation knob. It is a 100-degree oscillation angle. It says it has that written there, and it has 5-way oscillation on this fan, which I'll show you in a bit once you've had a look at the rest of this. It's got a very nice kind of holographic, not holographic, but it's got a kind of shiny effect of a base sticker here with the diamond branding, and it also says in the corner the Guangzhou or Guangzhou, China. Apologies if I've said that wrong. And yeah, there's a bit of discoloration on this sticker, and same with here for the lamp switch indicator, whatever you want to call it, label, and there's a bit of paint splatter, unfortunately. As for the base itself, this is metal. This is completely metal, which is amazing. And there's a bit of, marks and chips and all sorts, but I think that's acceptable for something of its age. And this base here, this is plastic. It's got a few marks as well. Nothing is on the base itself. It's a completely brown and empty base. No stickers or anything. So yeah, quite unique, isn't it? See, I wasn't lying. It's a bit different from what we've seen, but that's up to you to decide if it really is that special or not. And now let's have a look at the sides. Alright, looking at the right side here, you can see the amazing pitch on this blade set here. It is very deep, and the cage itself is quite a weird shape, with the rear part of the cage being shallower compared to the front part of the cage. And you can't really see the nice metal cap. If I spin the blades a tiny bit, you might be able to see. Yeah, it's got a lovely little metal center cap there, which I always love on these fans. Looking on the right side, over here, we see the motor casing, which is completely made of metal. I am very happy to see that actually most of this fan is made of metal, and that's just, it's such a reliever to help preserve it and everything. I don't have to worry about plastics going bad or anything. with this one, thankfully. As for on top of the motor casing, you'll notice there's a little like a stud or piece of plastic up there, and that's because this thing has oil ports, which is epic. Another bonus, and I did put oil in it earlier, and it runs amazing. It was already running pretty good when I got the fan, and it was just making a bit of like scraping noise from the bearings, but just a few drops of oil and all of that goes away. The magic of oil ports. And if we zoom in over here to the neck, you'll notice that it's quite a funny shape. It's very long, sticks out quite a bit, and that's probably to avoid the lamp, if anything. And you'll notice it's looking quite messy, and that's, I believe it's all oil for that's come from the oscillation mechanism here, or rather the pivot point used for the 5-point oscillation, which I can show you here. Pretty cool. And here's something else I'll show you after. You can kind of tell here there's a bit of chipping here, and that's because there's a screw on this neck, because this neck is also made of metal, and you can also see the kind of indentation here from where the handle used to be. This used to be on the top, and this handle used to be down there. But oh well. The tilt mechanism works fine as well, which is epic. Don't have to worry about threading plastic or breaking it or anything like so many other fans I've had in the past, where the tilt mechanism is worn out just because somebody had it tightened up all the way and pushed the head down. Oh my goodness. There's a bit of a bent drill piece here. And now I can show you the damage on the handle too. So if we look up there, you can kind of see it. It's a bit hard to see. Yeah, that piece there. It's all black here, and it looks like there's no chrome underneath, so perhaps this was the original like color there, and I can see there's a bit of surface rust here, but oh well. Now looking down here, trying not to make this video too long, you can see it's pretty much the same. You can see the neck here is also made of metal here, and sorry, the whole like pillow, which is pretty epic. Now let's have a look at the rear quickly, and then we'll run it and do our regular performance tests, and yeah. Alright, looking at the rear, there's some damage here and on the motor casing, which is whatever. It's a few paint scuffs. I can probably just get out my touch-up paint for the Suzuki, and that will help resolve that. And hopefully you can kind of see the that's not helping, is it? I'll take a picture at the end and hopefully that'll resolve that. It basically says Diamond AC electric fan FT 2135p, 50 cycles, I believe, 50 hertz, a batch code of 3124, 200 volts, 50 hertz, 57 watts. Oh, it says, oh yeah, 35 centimeters, yeah, 14 inches. And it was made by the Far East Electrical Fan Factory in Guangzhou, China. I believe that's how you say it. And yeah, quite cool with that old stamp tag. As for the rest of it, there's a few paint marks here and there, but nothing too much to worry about. So yeah, now let's show you how this thing runs, shall we? Alright, now let's do some performance tests. I will say it is unfortunate the low speed on this fan is a bit too loud for my liking and a bit too strong, but yeah. 1220 feet per minute. Very strong. To give you an idea of how strong this fan is, it whoops the Tatung 16-inch fan out of the way. It is so strong, honestly. 1338. I forgot to do it like a bit further away. 925 feet per minute. That will give you an idea. This thing generates so much air, or like moves so much air, that it puts literally every single fan in my collection to shame. I have nothing that can beat this thing. Literally. That's 1456, 1436 feet per minute. I'm coming back here. Again, 1023 I just saw, 1082. Again, very high numbers. And high 1574. And moving it back. 1002. 1220. Oh no, 1202. Sorry, what am I saying? 1125. Not bad at all. You may have noticed that I've put it on this wooden table here, and that's just because this fan is so heavy that it makes the other black table shake. And to be honest, right now, looking at this table here, it looks like it's gonna fall apart. So I guess I gotta be quick and finish off this video. But let me show you the wattage next. So here's low speed. It uses 38 watts, which is quite a bit. Definitely not as low as some other fans that I have, but I'll take it. 43 watts on second speed, 50 watts on third speed, and 71 watts on fourth speed, high speed. If I turn on the lamp here, I believe it uses, roughly 10 watts of power, which is, 82 watts. Quite a bit, and it does exceed what the rear sticker says, or manufacturer label, but again, it's not overheating or anything, so it's fine. So there we have it, guys. Not the most flashy, not the most mint condition fan that I have in the collection, but it is the most dependable, reliable, and stress-free fan that I have in the entire collection. I do not have to worry about this thing if I was to turn it on and leave it to run for an entire day with no stops in between or anything. It will just keep on going and do it exactly how it was meant to do from the factory. Unlike most of my collection, I'd say maybe 95% of my collection is made of fans that I can't really run without, having to worry about wearing out the bearings, or wearing out the plastic, or wearing out whatever, so on and so forth. But this thing, I can just turn it on and sit back and relax. But just get this, I will not be abusing this thing and be like, oh, you know what, hey, if I can just run it for that long, I can just, keep it and destroy it and whatever. Nah. I will take care of it and give it the same treatment that I give all my other fans. but this is definitely what I believe to be the crown jewel of the collection. So feel free to let me know what you guys think of this thing, and whether you guys have a favorite fan in your collection, or one that you can depend on, or just, keep forever and ever if you had to ever get rid of your collection, for example. And to those of you who are watching this and are not fan collectors, or aren't really interested in keeping this many fans like a few of us do, what do you guys think of this thing? Would you have bought one of these back in the day if you were shopping around? Yeah. For now, I just have to leave you with the same old nonsense that I always say, where nobody is forcing you to subscribe, as it is not the utmost geek thing that we do around here. We don't do subscription enforcement like so many other channels do, but just take it as a suggestion. If you want to subscribe, go for it, man. If you like the video, do what you want. Yeah, I won't force anybody to subscribe or this or that ever. And yeah, I guess I'll just say bye for now, guys. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video.